G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool video from the Goatshed. Today it's what's happening March here in the shed. So it's actually Wednesday the 1st of March 2023 and it's the first day of our autumn. All our seasons commence on the 1st of the month, unlike in the USA where they're sort of toward the 20s of the month, which it's all to do with, I don't know, different. Anyhow, autumn. But today it's currently 22 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 22 degrees Celsius, which is about 71.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Got all tongue-tied there. We have an expected high today of 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. But boy, it's humid. Currently 89% humidity. And we've got the fan running in the shed at the moment. We may need to turn the aircon on a little later on. There's Graham just doing a little bit of fine tuning on a step unit, which is in fact an ASFS relay.
Not too thick.
Before we can put it back in the machine and give it a bit of a final test. What we've discovered on this one is that we feel that there's too much stroke on the armature. Even though the armature is adjusted perfectly and perpendicular with the frame, there's no washer under the coil, so we're going to shove a washer under the coil because occasionally this one's stepping twice. So it can only be that, or maybe a bit of a worn gear, but we're going to go for the too much stroke. Anyway, we've been busy this year so far. We've got quite a lot of work still ahead of us. Probably too much for hobbyists, I don't know. This isn't a full-time business. It's just our love of repairing these old things keeps us going. But we only work a few hours a day, so we have other things we need to do in our life besides fix pinball machines. But my God, it consumes quite a lot of our life. And as I said, we wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. So we've just completed Abracadabra, and we're working currently now on Fireball. So anyone that follows us on YouTube will have noticed that we did yesterday a video on the 0 to 9 or match unit in Fireball, which had a funny fault in it, a very unusual fault, something you wouldn't really expect to see. So I'm not going to spoil that. I want you to watch the video to see what that fault was. Even though a match unit is a very simple unit, they can still have problems. And this one's working flawlessly now. There's Graham looking for a washer by the look of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pretty much in the middle of doing the back box on Fireball. Just over the last week we've had a few things occur which we really wanted to occur last year, but never mind, that didn't happen. So we've got some cabinets back, as we've mentioned before. So we've started on Bowling Queen. We've actually painted the neck of that. We did the blue colour just to make sure we were happy with it, and I believe we are. And while we've still got our warm weather, which we're going to have here for at least another 6 to 8 weeks hopefully, or warmer weather, we'll get onto the spray painting of that and the stencil making of that, and we're going to produce a video on how we do that. Now this is something Graham's been doing for well over 38 years, and he is quite good at stenciling and painting these cabinets. Personally, me, I don't really have much of an artistic bone in my body. You know, I help out sometimes, but this cabinet has been returned to us from our good friend Steve the builder, all undercoated and ready to be done. Now the other thing that happened, we've been waiting, as we've mentioned before, for a Gottlieb high hand playfield to get done. Well, we had good news on Monday of this week. It's done, and it's currently at the spray painting booth now getting clear coated. So the printer affixed it to the original board after it was sanded down, and now it's been clear coated, and that'll be returned to us in the near future. So we've sort of got to get that done. So we have a few people ask, oh, why isn't my machine getting done next? Well, that's the reason. We have other jobs where we've been waiting on stuff, and you know, to be fair to the people, they've been waiting a lot longer than the machines that have just arrived here in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Along with that, we've got a target pool, which we've also been reliably informed the playfield is ready. That one was having another playfield made up. And we'll be doing a video on target pool, because what's target pool? 1969, very, very popular game. And there's a lot involved in this one. And we'll be doing some videos on stuff we've never shown before, like how to rebuild a sequence bank. So that should be fun as well. Now we also have a Fantasy by Playmatic arrived here. That'll get done in the near future. But as I just mentioned, we've got a couple of other jobs to do first. Now, it's been a rather exciting time here in the Goatshed over the last week or two. Well, over the last 3 weeks, in fact. So last weekend, on Saturday, which was the 25th, we ran another training course, or our first one for this year. We've been a little bit sort of restricted on those courses because of COVID and various other things, well, mainly COVID, I suppose. And that course was received very well, and this particular course we changed the format of it to allow an extra hour onto the course. Now, we're trying to refine these courses as best we can. I think that was about the 8th course we've run, and we've put probably well over 40 people through these courses, and the students, this last one, were afforded this new format. So once again, they all seem to appreciate it, and for the first time we held it in the Goatshed down here, because let me show you what we're up to outside. Now here you're looking at the renovations that are being carried out. So it's actually a decking coming off the back of the house. So it's going to be multi-purpose. It's going to be used for obviously entertainment. There's going to be a TV screen out there, but also it's going to be used as a training facility. Now that sounds pretty big time, doesn't it? Goatshed World Headquarters, I think someone said. So there you go, you're getting a preview of the Goatshed World Headquarters. So today the roof's going on, where you can see those vertical white boards that's going to go all along the back. There's going to be a gap in between the top of the board and the ceiling. That's the, and there's a kitchen area over to the side. So all that there in the left, where those raised platforms are for a barbecue, a smoker, which was christened last weekend for the training course. And oh, here comes Abby, our mascot. See Abby there in the background? There she is. Hello, Abby. Now the other thing we're going to do while we've got the builder here, you can see that shed there off the side of the shed. That's going to get demolished, and we're just trying to figure out what to do. It's on a bit of a slope here. We originally wanted to extend the shed outwards this way a bit, but that's not going to happen now because there's too much excavation required. But we're going to make that shed, I think it's going to come to the front of the garage and sort of enter it from inside. So if we go in here now, we'll have a little look, see what's going on. So that shed starts roughly about here where that hose is hanging. So the builder's got a couple of ideas that he'll do, and once that happens, once he's finished the decking and everything out there, he'll get onto this. We had the electrician around yesterday. We're going to get some lights put up here, just there, up on the roof. They're temporary lamps up there. Down the front here, we're going to have a light up above the doors. So we've got no light in here. We've got natural light, as you can see when the shed's open. But we've got in the winter, so in the winter you really can't have that door open. So And I've just been told by Graham in the background the electrician is coming around this morning. I'm not sure whether he's going to do the work in here or the power points that are required or everything. There's the insulation that goes in the roof with the silver stuff on it. I don't know what they call it. Is that sarking? I don't know. I'm not a builder. I'm a pinball mechanic. Let's have a look outside. Here's the smoker. Looks like R2-D2. There it is. And I was just informed that we're going to exercise it for lunch again today and cook some chicken wings in it. Gee, we live well here in the goat shed. Or not lunch, morning tea. But he better get his finger out, he's not here yet. Okay, here's looking at it from another perspective. And as I said, that gap above the framework is where you're going to, where the air's going to come in. So it's not going to be a totally enclosed room. So things are looking good in the goat shed at the moment. Oh, there's Abracadabra, we're just approaching now. That's all finished and ready to go. That was the unit that Graham was working on. What we ended up discovering was that it was getting too much stroke simply because there was no washer under the coil. You know those little thin coil washers? Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. In this case it needed one because it was getting too much stroke, and under power it was driving twice. Well, not driving twice, but sometimes it was just flicking and getting that extra drive. There you go, there's that yellow thing we've shown you before that we hook onto the side of the machines. Now, pretty much that's what we're up to in the goat shed at the moment. This weekend coming, Graham and a couple of other goat shed members are going up to a place called Coffs Harbour. Now, for my American viewers, that's harbour with an O-U-R, not just an O-R. That's one of the idiosyncrasies of our English language, isn't it? You guys spell H-A-R-B-O-R, like Harbour Lights, the pinball machine. And we spell harbour H-A-R-B-O-R. Coffs Harbour's around about 4.5 hours away from here. It's about, around 400 odd kilometres, I think. Can't quite tell you how many miles that is at the moment. But so yeah, they're going up there, and look, appropriately, Graham's got a hat on which says Tooheys. Now Tooheys is a very popular beer here in New South Wales, where our state, and he'll be consuming copious amounts. Oh no, drink in moderation. Drink in moderation. That's Spanky will drink copious amounts of beer and make a disgrace of himself. So that's what he'll be doing. Just a little bit of a break away. And also at the end of this month, I'm going to have a few days off. I'm going to have a long weekend, a Friday and a Monday off. I'm going up, not so far away, but up the north coast, up to a place called Foster for Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and come back on the Monday. We can't be working on pinball machines all the time. We've got to have a bit of a break. Even though, as I mentioned earlier, we've got that much work to do, we can't jump over it. So, that's what's happening in the goat shed right now. And if I don't get off this, making this video, we won't get any work done today. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll remind you once again to please subscribe to our channel. Please feel free to make any comments. If you want help on pinball machines, please don't do it in the comments in YouTube, but do it on our Facebook page, the Goatshed EM Pinball Repair Specialists. Thanks so much for watching, and this has been another Goatshed presentation.